Good evening. This is the veteran from Trini. And I've been thinking about this video. It's going to be a short video. I've been thinking about this video for a while. And the reason I'm making this video is because I can see the deterioration of American free press. You know, when I was growing up in New York City as a young Trinidadian, and in the 60s, early 60s, my father was working at the United Nations at the time. He had us, so every day he came home, he would watch the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite. So basically, I became a news junkie. And every opportunity I get, I always watch the news and stuff like that, where we were getting actual stories and the truth. And one of the truth was we used to watch some of the presidential news conferences where the reporters would interview the president, and they were always courteous, and the president spokesperson was always courteous and asked questions. You know, I used to watch Sam Donaldson. I used to watch Mary was in the Martin, and quite a few people up there all the time. And the president and the spokesperson were always courteous. You know, and this we got news from it, fair and balance. You know, and over the years, things have gotten to the point where a lot of those reporters started putting their personal feelings into some of the stories, where it's not really good journalism. But they were always respectful, and they would ask some tough questions, but the president always replied with kindness and courtesy. So it was very important to the public to know what was going on. And it went on for a long time, you know. During that time, we had coverage of Vietnam War. You know, I personally was against Vietnam War, but I was also this was my adopted country, and as a patriot, I felt obligated even to join the army during the Vietnam War, and I only landed in Vietnam. I was not allowed off the plane because I had two brothers in Vietnam at the time. So I was sent to Thailand and during the Vietnam War. And while I was there, they carried out all the heavy bombings of Hanoi and stuff like that. And I was also scheduled, as I worked for Starlight Terminal station at Ulapau Air Base. And we, in 72, late 70, were scheduled to go to China with Nixon, and we already knocked down the satellite terminal and everything, but the trip was canceled and we went to NKP in northern Thailand. You know, and the reason I'm telling you that is because, you know, this country, first of all, has never been great. It's been a wonderful country, but never been great for everybody. Some people say, well, make America great again. And I disagree with that. America is a fantastic country, and I love it. It's one of the best countries in the world. But there's always been major problems, you know, starting out with the Irish, the Italians, the Catholic, you know, the Indians, American Indians, the slaves, and everything else, you know. But it's turned out to be a wonderful country. Freedom of the press has always been, you know, we fought for freedom of the press. And now, my personal beliefs, freedom of the press in the United States is under attack. You know, and it started slowly in the 80s, where a lot of reporters were more or less bashing, instead of being fair and just presenting the news. They were fitting the news to their style and their interpretation instead of giving them pure news. Over the years, I've watched a lot of channels. I was also one time, would you believe it? I used to watch Geraldo and Fox. I used to watch, one of my favorite programs was Hannity and Combs, before it got canceled. And I loved that program. Even at that time, I used to, believe it or not, I thought Hannity was okay. But now, that station, since Fox, Rupert Murdoch bought that station, it's been all one-sided. You know, here now we have a president. I think, personally, my opinion, I think he's a fascist. He don't like black people. He don't like people of color. I don't care what nobody says. That is my personal opinion. And as a U.S. citizen, I have that right to voice that opinion. You know, we're getting one-sided news if you watch Fox. The CNN and the other stations are not that good either. You know, they have different views. Fox is strictly conservative, and the president could do no wrong. CNN and ABC and some of the MSNBC are also one-sided. It's very hard to get the real truth. So we have to seek out independent journalists. You know, you got the Midas and a few other YouTubers that tell the truth. When I go there, I tell the truth the way it is. Not everything Trump has done is bad, but he has done some terrible things, and it's in the news all the time. Like if all of a sudden he couldn't get Borrego back from El Salvador, but all of a sudden he's back in the United States. He's doing everything. Right now, the Supreme Court has basically given a free hand to do whatever he wants. And he's doing just that. We need, as people, we need to follow what's going on. Or we will lose half our freedom. Trump's idea right now, he's deployed the troops to Los Angeles without the permission of the governor. He is trying to make sure to start something so he can bust a few heads and see, I told this what's going to go on. But right now, a lot of people in the United States are waking up. These immigration policies were supposed to just go after the criminals. And right now, a lot of people are realizing that a lot of people are being hurt. A lot of families are being sent back. Families that have no criminal records. People that have been in this country, you're right, illegally, for 20 and 30 years are being deported. A lot of families are being disrupted. A lot of people are going to end up on welfare because the breadwinner has been sent back to other countries. He is illegally putting people on planes to go to who knows where. But people didn't realize what effect this was going to have. So now they're realizing what he's doing, and he's taking a lot of people that have no criminal records, that are good family people, and this causing chaos in a lot of places. Los Angeles, thank God, has always been a liberal place. Even in the 60s, they started a lot of things with as far as civil rights movement and stuff like that, and demonstrations. So demonstrations started in Los Angeles and spread to quite a few cities right now. People are demanding reform. You got a lot of people that are here legally. Let's do it the right way. Give them a due process. And then this administration is not doing that. They're also threatening to arrest the governor of California because he has the right to request troops, National Guards, if he has a problem that his local authorities cannot handle. The administration jumped the gun and sent National Guards and Marines to LA. Now you have big demonstration. Oh, one of the biggest ones right now is in New York, because New York is never far behind from other places. You have them in San Antonio, you have them in Cleveland. A lot of demonstrations are breaking out because the people are sick and tired of the way this administration is handling the immigration problem. You know, the United States is a great country. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it is a great country. It's one of the best countries in the world. We can support some of these people. We can help them. Some of the U.S. policies over the years have drained these countries, a lot of these countries, of natural resources. So the people would do anything. I remember when I was a kid, growing up in Trinidad, West Indies, I actually believed that the streets of the United States were paved in gold. And a lot of immigrants believe that. You know, and I appreciate this country. I grew up in Trinidad, and many nights, my father had a decent job, but he was still, there were 5 of us kids, and many nights we went to bed hungry, and I could see why people will risk their lives to come to the United States, because there's freedom. Because basically, my family came to this country, and I've said the majority of us have been very successful. I have a few teachers in my family. I have a couple of relatives with doctorates, and everything, and that was due to my father's decided to migrate to the United States. So we would never had that opportunity in the Caribbean at the time. So I'm deeply grateful to this country. I appreciate this country. And there's things wrong with this country, and I just want to point it out. So I'm begging people, what you need to do is look at, and be with an open mind. We may have different political, more or less persuasion, different things I get. I've always been a Democrat, but I listen. When somebody said they support Trump, I want to know. I don't get to them. I want to know why. Explain to me why his policies. You want to follow his policies. I want to be able to sit down and talk to anybody. Because you're a Trump supporter, don't mean we're not gonna get along. I have many friends that are some Trump supporters, and when I meet with them, we discuss things. And right now, what I tell them, I say, look what's going on. This man is an authoritarian, and what is he doing right now? He's hoping that it starts rioting in California, so he can send more troops in. He basically wants to be a dictator. He already told people that he wants to be a dictator for at least one day. So he's doing everything. And the Supreme Court is let him do a lot of wrong things. And the people are starting to realize the road he's going down is not a very good road. People have lost a lot of money with the stock market and his tariff programs. This man has turned this country into chaos. In a while, the way things are going, I don't want to predict this, but a lot of people are going to get hurt. So all I'm asking, whether you're a Trump supporter or not, look at what he's doing with an open eye. Make sure you listen to what's going on. Pay attention. Don't look at just one news sources. There's a lot of sources out there. There's a lot of good channels on YouTube. There's a lot of good thing because like right now, what he did, he sued ABC News. They didn't do anything wrong, but just to get access to him and be able to send the correspondence to the White House briefing room, they paid him over $16 million. Now, Terry Moran wrote an article that was not positive to Trump and Stephen Miller. He accused them of being haters. So what they did to appease the Trump administration, ABC News, who's supposed to be independent, suspended Terry Moran. Going back a couple of months ago, CNN has fired Don Lemon. Joy Reid has been fired. All these people who were drawing attention to what the Trump administration was doing has slowly been replaced, and everything else. So ABC News, CNN wouldn't have a conflict with the president. This is not free journalism. So people, pay attention. Don't let your blind loyalty ruin this great country. We need to be able to get together. This country is so divided right now. It's unbelievable. This man is creating a lot of problems. Right now, he's kicking the Venezuelans out. The Cubans, he's trying to send them back to Cuba. He's sending a lot of Africans back. A lot of West Indians. He is sending a lot of people of color out of this country. And to prove he's a racist, he has imported white Africans, claiming there was a genocide against white farmers in South Africa, which was far from the truth. He's justified. This man, his income has doubled, even tripled since he became president. He's selling phony gold coins, phony watches. This man is actually raping this country, and you're smiling with your eyes wide open. Come on, people. Sit back and think. Do some research and find out what this man is doing to this country. I don't know how, this is just one man's opinions. I know I'm going to have a lot of haters out there. In fact, I'm told I'm an old man and I should shut my mouth and go to bed. But I love this country. And this is just one man's opinion. This country has over 300 million people. There's a lot of people that have different opinions. And I actually respect everybody's opinion. They may not be your opinion, and you can disagree, but that is the greatest of United States citizenship. So, again, this is the veteran from Trinity. If you like this program, give me a like. And also, I'm looking for more subscribers. I've been stuck in the same thing for the last 3 months. I've gotten maybe over 2 subscribers. But if you think I'm right, please like and subscribe to this channel. Again, this is Veteran from Trinity. Thank you for letting me rant. I appreciate you. So, good night, and let's keep America press free. So, do some research. You don't have to agree with me, you know. So, I wish everybody a good night. Oh, one other thing. I'll probably get in another video. The president has scheduled to have a parade. I'm going to tell you something. When I was a young soldier stationed at Fort Lee, Virginia, I was assigned to a company that did parades. I'm going to tell you right now, the average GI don't like parades, especially in the summer. You go out there, you practice in the heat. You practice for hours. You got to make sure that all the equipment is clean and everything. So a lot of this equipment is going to break down. You're going to work hours away from your family. So these three GIs don't want these parades, the majority of them. And the thing about it is, this president that wants this parade did not serve. He claimed he had burn spotters. This is the same president that called war deads losers and suckers. I don't think he deserves a parade. But who am I? I am just an ex-GI. And that is my opinion. I don't deserve to get, he believes she should have gotten a parade. Thank you.